Tonight, a battle as Georgia State is in the house with a 7-game winning streak, but it's Utah Valley undefeated at home so far this season. Tonight, something has to give, and you've got a front row seat for it all. Next on UVU TV. And welcome to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Quite a battle we got for you tonight. The Panthers and the Wolverines. Wolverines, as we already mentioned, undefeated in this building so far this season. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Welcome to our Costa Vida pregame show. Matt, this is a tough matchup for the Wolverines tonight. Yeah, going to be a tough team that they're going to play here tonight. They obviously played well in the last game here at home. They're going to need to play well tonight because Georgia State brings in a very good team with a lot of athletic players. Yeah, last year these two, a bloody battle. There were stitches, there was blood, technical fouls. We might see more of the same tonight. Let's talk about UVU though for a second. Undefeated at home, and they're coming off probably their best win of the season at home. Yeah, definitely. I think last week against Portland State, they played very well. It was a total team effort. They had contributions from a number of different players. We're seeing some of the highlights here of a lot of the plays that were made in that game by the Wolverines. And I think that they learned a lot in that game because they had a lead. Portland State fought back. The Wolverines were able to pull it out at the very end. So they're going to have, the whole week to prepare for Georgia State in tonight's game, and they can build off of the momentum that they had against Portland State. Holton Hunsaker, 26 points. Isaiah Williams, 20 in that game a week ago tonight. Now let's talk about Georgia State. They're blowing people away by 33, 35 points, including Rhode Island in their last game. Yeah, we see some of their highlights here. I mean, from watching these highlights, we can tell a number of different things. As I said earlier, they are a very athletic team, and they've got very good inside play. So I think that the Wolverines are going to have to learn from these games that Georgia State has recently played, and they're going to have to take away from those games the things that will contribute to the victory tonight. Otherwise, the Wolverines could be in trouble. All right, well, let's say the Wolverines need to stay out of trouble. Key players then you're looking for to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, we'll take a look first for the Wolverines. We've got to focus on the guard play. Holton Hunsaker coming off a career high last game, 26 points, named the Great West Conference Player of the Week. He's going to have to play well tonight. Isaiah Williams, he is the cog offensively for the Wolverines, and he does a very good job. He'll be a key tonight. And for Georgia State, we're going to take a look at Devontae White, a sophomore guard averaging 12.7 points per game, and we've got Eric Butner, who is a forward, plays inside, 34 blocks on the year, which ties him nationally 9th. So he's going to be a big interior force tonight. All right, those are the key players anyway. Now the keys to victory for both these teams. Yeah, it's funny how these always play out when we look at them during the game, but for the Wolverines, they've got to be able to control the tempo. They're going to have strong perimeter play from the key players, Holton Hunsaker and Isaiah Williams, and they're going to, Holton's going to have to be the guy tonight because he's going to run the offense and he's got to be a big key on defense. As for Georgia State, they've got to get out and get fast break baskets. They're going to have strong perimeter defense against Holton and Isaiah tonight, and they've got to continue that winning momentum. They won 7 straight games, and you can see they're a very confident team, and they're going to be ready to play tonight. All right, we're going to hold you to those keys, by the way. We'll do it. We'll bring them up as often as necessary to make you look good. We're going to take a break. Back with more Costa Vida pregame show, your opening lineups, and your opening tip coming your way next here on UVU TV.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
I'm Patty Garcia, a geology student at UVU, and this is Engaged Learning. At UVU, I'm learning by doing.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center. Georgia State, Utah Valley getting set to go at it. Third time these two teams have played one another. Georgia State has won the first two, including last year, a bruiser. 69-56 was the final score there. 13-point win for Georgia State. But it's Utah Valley coming in here 6-0 at home, 6-5 overall. Utah Valley, as we talked about in the pregame before that first break, they've just got to get some points from their starting guards, both Holton Hunsaker and Isaiah Williams. Georgia State, 7-3 overall. They've got the 37th best scoring defense in the nation, just giving up 58.7 points a game. But the Wolverines come in here scoring 68 points a game.
And now fans, get your Minuteman Press rosters ready as we announce tonight's starting lineups. Minuteman Press is the first.
Tell you what, we're going to join PA announcer Eric Allen for the starting lineups here.
Lineup for the Georgia State Panthers. Forward, number 1, Josh Misha. The other forward, number 4, James Field. At center, number 20, Eric Buckner. At guard, number 12, Devontae White. The other guard, number 25, Rashawn Richardson. Head coach of the Panthers is Ron Hunter, with assistant Terrell Mulberry and Everett Sullivan and Claude Pardue.
All right, Matt. Georgia State, 73 points a game. They give up only 59 points a game. They've won 7 in a row. If they win tonight, that's 8 in a row. That will match the school's longest winning streak. Does any of that really matter when you're a player?
Well, I don't think that the players are probably paying much attention to the school record. I think they're definitely focusing on how many games they've won in a row, however. And when you're playing and you're winning games and you're just, you know, it seems like you cannot lose and nothing can go wrong for you. I think that's more of what you focus on. So I think that's what they're going to be looking forward to tonight. And I don't think that they'll look, you know, they'll put up on their board saying, hey, we need to have this school record. I think they're going to say, hey, we need to have our 8th win in a row.
They start 3 seniors and 2 sophomores, and ironically, Utah Valley starts 3 seniors and 2 sophomores. 4 of those guys are starting their 42nd straight game. Here's Eric Allen again with the starting lineups for the Wolverines.
Now, the starting lineup for UVU Wolverines. At forward, a 6'6" senior from Bellflower, California, number 33, Keith Thompson. The other forward, a 6'5" senior from Bronx, New York, number 15, Geddes Robinson. At center, a 6'9" sophomore from Bountiful, Utah, number 34, Ben Aird. At guard, a 6' sophomore from North Salt Lake, number 12, Holton Hunsaker. And the other guard is 6'1" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 2, Isaiah Williams. Head coach of the Wolverines is Dick Hunsaker, with assistants Mike Kelly, Steve Payne, Paul Moss, and Rob Goodrow.
Isaiah Williams, he's a character, and boy, oh boy, does Eric Allen do a great job here as PA announcer or what. I just love listening to his introductions here at the UCCU Center. Georgia State 7-3, Utah Valley 6-5. Georgia State winners of 7 in a row. Yeah, we've said it 100 times. We're going to say it 101. Utah Valley undefeated at home. They're 6-0. So when they play on the road, they have trouble. This is the last home game for Utah Valley of the year. They hit the road for 2 next week and then 2 the following week. Then back home after New Year's. But very tough game tonight. Georgia State last year sent Jordan Swarbrick to the locker room twice to get stitches. A couple of other players had bloody noses. I'm expecting another physical battle tonight between these two.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see this. And you and I were talking a little bit beforehand. On paper, this looks like the best teams that the Wolverines are going to play here at home. So, and I say that just on paper and with no disrespect to the other teams that they played here, but you know, I say it in a sense that this is going to be a very tough game for the Wolverines.
We're underway here at the UCCU Center. Hunsaker at point guard for UVU. Now to Aird, up top to Isaiah for 3. Bottom.
It's just what the Wolverines could have asked for on their very first possession. Georgia State comes out playing a 2-3 zone, so Wolverines looked like they were prepared for that, and Georgia State looked very comfortable in that zone, so that probably will be the majority of their defense tonight.
UVU basketball following that miss. You spoke up during pregame warm-ups when we were watching both these teams that Georgia State has got a lot of big guys.
Yeah, they do. But however, they've got small guys on the court right now. I mean, they're only playing the biggest guys. Eric Buckner, now he is big, 6'10", but you know, they've gone with a smaller lineup. We'll see if they work their bigger guys in throughout the game.
Williams misses the 3. Georgia State's second possession. It's Richardson. Can't get it to go. Keith Thompson cleans the glass for UVU. Up top, Isaiah. He's not shy, and that's why.
Yeah, great ball movement. I mean, that's how you hurt a zone defense, is if you can get the ball in the middle, and that's what they've done on those 2 3-point shots from Isaiah. They've gotten the ball inside to Ben, and he's been more at the free throw line. He's been able to kick it out to a perimeter player. We get a foul here, but he's been able to kick it out to a perimeter player, a couple extra passes. Isaiah with some wide open threes.
Devontae White drives in against Holton Hunsaker, picks up his first foul, first team foul. Played a minute and a half here, 6-0.
Yeah, we'll see. Devontae White had a lot of room to operate there. There was no help defense there from any of the Wolverines. This will be a key for tonight's game. Devontae White was one of our key players, and the ball is going to be in his hands a lot. So whoever is in the game, whether it's Holton, whether we're going to see Kevin Woods come in, you know, these players are going to have to keep Devontae White in front of them. They cannot let Devontae get past them. And check this out, Jim. I mean, we've got first time that we've seen this at home is a trap here.
Geddes Robinson breaks the press. Isaiah for 3. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Isaiah Williams 9, Georgia State 2.
I would say that qualifies for a hot start. I mean, geez, 3 3-point shots just like that. I mean, incredible shooting to start here from Isaiah. He's ready to play.
He's 3 of 4. Back the other way. White misses his. UVU on the run again. Isaiah calling for the ball. Keith Thompson takes it into the lane. Now out to Isaiah and stolen away. Misha stripped it on the run. Dish over to White, layup good.
Yeah, great job of running the transition offense there from Josh Misha. Did a nice job of staying out wide and dishing it off. Unfortunate turnover there. I think the Wolverines were a little bit too anxious on offense.
9-4.
Yeah, it looks like they've switched up their defense a little bit. I mean, it looks like generally still a base 2-3, but giving the wing a little bit more flexibility to come out.
Isaiah wide open for 3. Missed that one. He's 3 of 5 now.
You know, I find it amazing, Jim. we've got the defense here. We've got Coach Ron Hunter in front of us just yelling at his team. With the start that Isaiah has had, you know, hitting those three-point shots, to give him that many open looks at time and time again is what is causing Coach Hunter to yell at his players out here, because when you have that hot of a start, you can't leave him that wide open, and Coach Hunter knows that.
But if they had watched tape, which I'm sure they did, of last Saturday's game against Portland, it was all Holton Hunsaker.
Yeah.
26 points.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, the Wolverines definitely can create and cause some matchup problems like that.
Foul being called on Ben Aird. Second team foul. Ben's first.
Yeah, we'll see what. We got the call there from the official saying that he got him on the elbow. He was explaining that to Coach Hunsaker, saying that he got him on the elbow.
This is Eric Buckner at the free throw line.
You know, one thing I wanted to point out here, when Eric Buckner gets in gets the ball in the paint, he's taller than Ben, and he's going to be able to jump higher than Ben. So what Ben has to be careful is not to get those ticky-tack fouls. He's got to just do his best of getting vertical shot pressure and not doing any type of fouling and putting Buckner at the line.
A little over 3 minutes gone here. Orem, Utah. Inside, Aird's first shot is good.
Yeah, great offense there. Georgia State mixing it up defensively. Looks like that time they tried to go like a 1-3-1 type trap and extend the defense out. Wolverines did a great job of making a couple extra passes and entry pass into Ben Aird for an easy layup.
Kimbrough with it. He's wide open for a three. There you go. And just like that, it's a three-point game.
Yeah, both teams making some mental mistakes. It seems getting or leaving shooters open on the court. You know, Holton's going to have a key role in tonight's game, or whoever the point guard is, because that point guard is going to have to realize and recognize the defense early for Georgia State as we see another three-pointer.
UVU has hit 4 3-pointers. Isaiah's got 3. Holton Hunsaker's got 1. Ben Aird saves it. UVU on the run. Geddes Robinson in the lane. Held ball. Possession arrow, Georgia State. Nice defensive play. That'll bring us to our first media timeout. Just under 16 minutes to play. First half, Wolverines 14-8.
Dawn is breaking at Utah Valley University. 33,000 students are descending on campus. What are they after? Knowledge? Opportunity? They might be pursuing an MBA, an automotive certificate, or a bachelor's degree in philosophy. But despite their different paths, they share a common understanding.
I'm Sylvia Bentley, an anthropology student at UVU studying ancient Peru, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm graduating with a diploma and a resume.
14-8. Isaiah Williams has got 9. Holton Hunsaker 3. Ben Aird 2. For Georgia State, Devontae White with 4. Tony Kimbrough Jr. came off the bench, hit a three-pointer. Eric Buckner's got a free throw. Wolverines out hot early. Something we haven't seen from them, quite frankly, here in the first 11 games of the season. They frequently dig themselves a hole due to very cold starts, and then spend most of the first half, even part of the second half, digging themselves out of the hole. Fields with it. 15 seconds to shoot. Kimbrough. Nice move.
Yeah, pretty athletic play there. He's obviously a left-handed player, so whoever's defending him is going to have to force him to the right. You know, Georgia State trying to get this press up. 2-2-1, it looks like, at different times, slow down the Wolverines on offense a little bit, and then they fall back into the 2-3 zone. Inside to Big Ben, forces his way up, won't go.
Georgia State with the rebound. Eric Buckner pulled that one down. Devontae White with it. Up top, Kimbrough. Left side goes to Fields. They're just working perimeter right now. Jumper outside, no good. That one coming from Ali. Georgia State with the rebound. Put back from way up top by Devontae White.
Yeah, those rebounds are going to be critical when you get those long shots. It's going to be critical that the Wolverines have a combined team effort on the defensive glass. They can't give up those extra offensive opportunities to Georgia State.
No foul. 2-point game. UVU out in front, 14-12. Geddes Robinson tried that spin move. Forces it up and in.
Yeah, that's a very tough move to defend. Geddes went to his spin move and then just used his body. No offensive foul there, just used the strength to bounce the defender off of him and was able to finish.
Offensive foul. James Fields, his first, team's first.
Yeah, Holton did a very nice job there of getting over the screen that was out on the perimeter. I don't think that James Fields was expecting, as we see here. You see Holton push up over the screen there, and we get Fields extending that left arm there. I think that probably James was expecting that Holton wasn't going to be able to get over that screen and caused him to get a push off.
Taylor Brown in the game now for the Wolverines. He's got the ball. But it'll be Hunsaker for three. Missed that one. Rebound, Keith Thompson stripped on his way back up.
Yeah, Keith does a great job on the offensive glass. And when you have players, I remember Coach Hunsaker used to always tell us this, is that when you have teams that are playing a zone defense against you, the best offense is offensive rebounds. And I think that they'll put a pretty big emphasis on that tonight. They'll need to have players crash the offensive glass.
Inside to Ben. Turnaround jump hook. Here comes Georgia State. White working against Williams. Nice drive off the glass.
Yeah, that's going to be a key to tonight. I mean, geez, he did an incredible job. He had that ball nearly the entire possession, was just able to create it around defenders. Isaiah did a very nice job of getting around the first screen or getting over the top of the first screen, but after that, wasn't able to.
Taylor Brown for three. All of a sudden, the Wolverines cooling off from outside. 4 of 8 now. Just a 2-point lead. Ben stripped. Players diving for it. It will belong to, I think they're going to give it to Georgia State.
You see Holton coming in, diving for the basketball there, and pretty nice hustle and great hustle there from Devontae White as well. It's clear what Georgia State's trying to do. They're trying to set high ball screens at the top or just beneath the three-point line, and we're going to get Devontae White coming out of the game. But they're trying to get their point guards coming off of those screens hard, trying to create some type of mismatch and getting them going to the rim. So we see that offense right here, just a number of different screens at the top trying to get their guards going to the rim.
White and Kimbrough, the only 2 Georgia State players to have scored from the floor. Spin move inside, no. Rory Fannin cleans the glass. Over to Kevin Woods, who's checked into the game. So right now the Wolverines with 3 players off the bench on the floor.
Yeah, and with this offense, with the zone, you can't get stagnant. They were great at moving the ball offensively early. They got to just not stay stagnant, keep passing the ball, don't take forced shots, as I think that last shot from Isaiah was a little bit forced. Just run your offense, get it inside, good things will happen. Wolverines
got away with the air ball there. Taylor Brown missed it. Right back into Geddes Robinson. Fakes once, fakes twice, goes up. Taylor Brown tried to go back up. He drew the foul. James Vincent might have been the one to reach in and get him. Nope, they're going to call that one on Tony Kimbrough. That'll bring us to another media timeout. 11:48 to play, first half. Second foul, by the way, on Kimbrough. 2-point lead for the Wolverines.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
Patty Garcia, a geology student at UVU, and this is Engaged Learning. At UVU, I'm learning by doing.
Georgia State shooting about 46% from the floor. Utah Valley just 37%, but it's been the three-pointers that got Utah Valley out in front. They have a trail. Utah Valley is led by as many as 7. Right now, just a 2-point lead, however, with 11:48 to play till the break. And a 10-7 edge in rebounding to the Wolverines.
Yeah, and 4 of those of offensive rebounds. I think that'll be something that we need to pay attention to as Georgia State goes into this and plays this zone defense. It's very hard to box out in a zone defense because you don't have a man that you're always nearby. It's very hard to defensive rebound. So Wolverines will be aggressive on the offensive glass to try and create those extra opportunities.
Taylor Brown converts both free throws. Those are the first 2 free throws for UVU in this game. 18-14. McGee won't go. Buckner fighting for it, but the Wolverines come away with it. Kevin Woods.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, you see what he tried to do. He tried to penetrate the defense. He didn't have it. He did a great job of back dribbling out of that. You got to have that aggressiveness on the transition. If it's not there, pull it out. Run your zone offenses.
12 seconds on the shot clock. Pull up jumper, Woods, good. Kevin Woods, one of those seniors with a lot of experience. He's from Bloomington, Illinois. Just averaging 3 points a game, but some crucial points in a couple of their games. Wow, nice move to the hole that time by Michon.
Yeah, that's a great job, and there was a defensive breakdown there from the Wolverines. It looks like 2 bigs were. A big guy was coming up to set a screen for another big guy, so definitely something the Wolverines will have to adjust to.
Geddes is stripped. Georgia State coming back the other way. Outside to McGee. Ali will take the jumper instead. Now the Wolverines coming back the other way. Taylor Brown open. Instead drives to the hole, and blocking foul going to get called on Georgia State. That one goes against Buckner.
Yeah, Taylor, I think, as we'll see here, just catching up with him here right off of the pump fake, I think that he could have taken that 3-point shot, but a nice job of him driving to the lane. And what I like here, he's going up against a great shot blocker there in Eric Buckner, as we talked about how many blocks he has on the year. And what did he do there? He didn't try to get cute. He didn't try to get fancy. He went right at him. He went right at the defender and drew the foul. Kept his eyes up at the rim when he was going up for that layup. He didn't try and go around him or do anything fancy. He went right at him, and that was great aggressiveness on the part of Taylor Brown.
21-16. Brown has 3 points, all from the stripe. He's only shot. He's made more free throws tonight than he has the rest of the season put together.
Yeah, he's been a great spark off of the bench. I mean, he's come in and played very well.
Taylor Brown, 4 points.
Yeah, there are those screens again. It's every time and time again as we get a turnover here. Tony Kimbrough stepping out of bounds on the sideline there, but that's what their offense is. It's just setting those high ball screens and allowing their players to create. Let's see what the Wolverines do here offensively. This is a lineup where we don't normally see, where we've got Kevin and Keave in the game with Taylor, Keith, and Rory. See where they go for their offense here.
A little bit of trouble getting across the stripe. Wolverines will set up their offense now. Keith Thompson, the only starter remaining on the floor right now for the Wolverines. Keave Enos with it. Inside to Rory Fannin, out to KT. Jumper. Nope. Georgia State on the run again. Devontae White. Baseline drive that time from Brandon McGee. A little contact inside. No foul, though.
Yeah, we'll see here. Keith definitely went out to try and get some pressure on. He did a nice job of scrambling there. Looks like he got away with a foul, too. Maybe a foul there late against McGee, but a no call, and we play on.
Taylor Brown takes a seat. Alfonso Hubbard makes his first appearance for the Wolverines. 11 of 12 Wolverines have already seen action here. Still got 9 and change left first half. Wow. There's your charge. James Fields. Well, we talked about it several times, especially in the pregame show, that it was going to be a physical game. This looks more like what we saw last year.
Yeah, you were able to do that game. That's a tough call there. I mean, I think that
anytime you say it's a tough call, you disagree with the official, don't you?
I got to just change my way. I mean, you know, that was a tough call.
Yeah, that was a tough call.
I mean, I think Coach Hunter was yelling right in front of us. We have the pleasure of listening to him. Definitely saying that the player was moving. Kevin was moving there, so no. But you know what? The official didn't call it, so therefore there's no foul.
6-point lead for UVU. We're at the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah. Wolverines have not lost here this season. 6-0. Kevin Woods jumper, good.
Yeah, really good ball movement there. You know, the Wolverines do a nice job of passing around the perimeter, using ball fakes, using shot fakes, and a nice job of Kevin flashing to the ball there, and he's become a very good mid-range jump shooter. I mean, he has the ability to knock down a jump shot from anywhere on the court, and you know, improved his shooting.
Devontae White buries the three. Pulls the Panthers of Georgia State to within 5.
Well, and having said that, Devontae White is able to knock down a shot. Great shot there from Rory Fannin. I love when the offensive Wolverines gets the ball to that point, whether it be in the hands of Ben Aird or Rory Fannin. If they can get it right there at the free throw line, good things will happen.
Rory only averages about 9 minutes a game, so trying to make the most of his minutes. Turnaround, no good. Rebound, Georgia State. Buckner goes up strong against Rory Fannin. Looks like Fannin will probably get the call. No, Keith Thompson. I got to stop trying to outguess these guys. Keith Thompson picks up the foul. Just under 8 to play, first half. Wolverines by 7.
I never used to care about college sports. I mean, I go to a game or two, but it's mainly for social reasons, you know?
And how has green fever affected your school spirit?
I never miss a sporting event. You got NCAA baseball, softball, basketball, golf, wrestling, soccer, volleyball. I'm memorizing stats. I'm dreaming about Wolverines. I just bought a pet Wolverine. It tore my dad's favorite shoe. It was wicked awesome. No, I don't play sports. I wouldn't want to make the athletes envious. I don't mess around, man.
Bus pass, $5. UVU t-shirt so you can impress the ladies, $25. iPod Nano, $120. A degree from UVU so you can afford your own car someday. Priceless. For everything else, there's student loans.
26-19. Utah Valley on top of Georgia State. I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Third time these two have played. Georgia State took care of business easily the first 2 games. Right now, thanks to that man right there, Isaiah Williams, UVU got off to a really hot start, leading by as many as 7 on the early going as he scored the first 9 points for Utah Valley. Buckner at the free throw line. Eric Buckner, 9th in the nation in block shots a game. He's a senior from Earhart, South Carolina.
He's definitely one player you have to keep off the offensive glass because he's got size, he's got length, he's got the ability to out-jump anybody on the court. So key to blocking a player like that is make sure you always get a body on him.
Buckner's got 2 points, both of them from the stripe. 6-point lead for Utah Valley. Starting guards back in there. Isaiah Williams with it. Now to Holton Hunsaker. Looks like UVU having a little trouble getting it inside. And sure enough, they throw it away. White coming back the other way. Drives to the hole. Shot good. Which way is the call going? Charge. And as you say, partner, tough call there.
Yeah, I think that was a good call. However, I do think that was a good call, and Holton did a very nice job. He was the one that turned the ball over. You cannot turn the basketball over and expect Georgia State not to make some type of run to get back in the game. But Holton did a very nice job there. He was the one who turned that over, and he was the one who got back defensively. He's been on the floor, seems like 100 times tonight already in this game. He's always going to give that effort and that hustle.
Ball kicked out of bounds by Richardson. Wolverine basketball here in front of our broadcast position. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Geddes Robinson will trigger for the Wolverines. Yeah, we've seen this zone from Georgia State really kind of settle in, if that's the right word, because they've definitely done a nice job of causing, not allowing the Wolverines to get into their offenses easily and run their offenses easily. Keavi Enos misses the three. Little floater back the other way. No, Ben Aird cleans the glass. Aird's second rebound tonight. Isaiah Williams drives in, dishes off. Geddes. Shot blocked from behind, and a foul going to get called on Georgia State. That one's going to go against Jihad Ali. His first redshirt senior from Lithonia, Georgia. Yeah, we see here the dish off here to Geddes Robinson, and definitely in there fighting among three players. He's got to deal with some shot blockers in there, and we've talked all season long how good he is with the shot fake and with the pump fake and being able to convert, inside, and was able to draw the foul at that time. Geddes, a 54% free throw shooter on a team that is 67% as a team. And true to form, he makes one of two. 27-20, Wolverines. 6.5 to play. Here comes that screen. It's what they do. Here comes that screen, just trying to come off of it and create. Mishaw out to White, jumps a three. Wolverines coming back the other way. Ben inside. He was fouled on his way to the glass. Last year in Atlanta, Ben Aird was a true freshman. He took some of the pounding last year, and you got to figure, I bet he watched tape of that game. Yeah, and I'm sure they all did, and were reminded about what took place last year at the game in Atlanta, as you were saying. But I can't stress enough how talented I think Ben is when he gets the ball with ability and with space to create. Whether or not he gets that at the free throw line, he's able to take that jump shot as he did there. He did a nice job of getting a little bit below the free throw line, and we saw the replay of him being able to spin to the basket and going up strong. That was a great move that Ben made. And I think that the more that they can get it into his hands in ideal situations, the better their offense will be. Ben's got 3 points. Fields drives in. Nice. Yeah, great play there from Fields. Just as we've talked about, they're trying to set that high ball screen. The Wolverines are anticipating that. That time Fields took it away from the screen and had a wide open path to the basket. So a great adjustment there from Fields, knowing not just going off the screen like they normally do. Isaiah mishandled the pass. Wolverines get it right back. Inside Geddes. Fakes once, off the glass. Geddes Robinson learned his trade in the Bronx of New York. Can you tell? Yeah, he's a tough player. Especially inside, where a nice shot there from Josh Mishaw, but where he doesn't have the size that some other players might have, he certainly makes up for it in his toughness. 6-point lead again. Isaiah buries the long two. Yeah. We kind of had the tempo very quick at the beginning of the game, and then it slowed down. We've seen the tempo pick back up here, and both teams are playing at a good pace for both of them. Wow, this has been a great first half of college basketball. Buckner inside. Yeah, we're going to get Coach Hunter calling off the press here. I think he's seen enough of the Wolverines attacking and getting baskets off of their transition offense. So see what adjustments that they do make here. Foul going to go against Georgia State. That one's going to go against Devontae White. For Devontae, his second, team's 8th.
Yeah, I mean that's a blocking foul. I mean you've got Geddes Robinson attempting to go to the basket, attempting to make a move there, and you have Devontae White with his hands on him initially, and obviously not set to take a charge there. So a good job there of Geddes realizing that he did have the smaller player on him and trying to drive the baseline. He did draw that foul.
Now I'm interested why Ben Aird is the only Wolverine on the lane for these free throws.
Yeah, I think what they may try to do here is you've got a smaller lineup in with Isaiah, with Kevin and Holton, and they're clearly trying to combat what Georgia State is doing offensively, and what that is we see Geddes with the offensive rebound here.
Well, okay, my question's answered.
1 on 5, right?
Yeah.
Or 1 on 4.
If you don't need them, you don't need them.
Yeah.
Ben Aird pass a little too hot to handle. That time, Geddes Robinson picks up the foul for UVU.
Yeah, what I was going to say is they're trying to make sure that they're slowing down. They're not allowing Georgia State to get out in transition, and they've got these smaller guards in here going to combat what Georgia State has done by the quickness that they have in their guards. They're getting their 3 best perimeter defenders, speaking of Wolverines, in to guard against what Georgia State has in.
Alley-oop. Well, the alley was there, but not the oop. And Georgia State takes it right back away. Back-to-back turnovers between these two. Fields. Over to Misha. It's Kimbrough. Holton Hunsaker called for the foul. 3:46 to play, first half. Wolverines out front by 7 here at the UCCU Center.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Both teams shooting an identical 45% from the floor, but the Wolverines lead it by 7. They've hit 2 more three-pointers than has Georgia State, and 3 more free throws. Very entertaining first half. Wolverines have led from the get-go, leading by as many as 8. Right now it's a 7-point lead with 3:46 to play.
Yeah, just under 4 minutes. It's going to be critical for both teams to finish out strong. They never want to give up momentum that you've built up in the first half in the last 4 minutes of a half. It's always important to close those out.
Panthers setting up their offense. Fields. Out to Kimbrough. Working around to Misha. Tried to lob it inside. Too high for Eric Buckner. Buckner's 6'10". They threw it over his head. Here comes Kevin Woods off the glass.
Yeah, great job of Kevin attacking there. I mean, he didn't force anything. I don't think that was a forced shot. He saw what was there and finished the play. Great shot there from Kevin.
The 9-point lead is the largest for UVU here in this first half. Another foul as Misha tried to go to the hole. This one's going to go against Geddes Robinson.
Go back to that play as well. You know, we'll see here Josh Misha. You see Geddes just relax just a little bit there. And the second that you relax, I think that Josh Misha saw that, was able to take advantage of it. But going back to the finish there from Kevin Woods, you know, he was the one that rotated defensively. He saw that errant pass going over the top. He was the weak side guard that came down and took that ball. So good awareness from him, first defensively and then the finish offensively.
Second foul on Robinson puts Geddes Robinson on the bench, probably for the remainder of this first half. Field partially blocked by Kevin Woods. Inside, Buckner. He drew the foul. That one's going to go against Kevin Woods.
Yeah, really unfortunate play there because great defense there. We'll see. We're going to see the tail end of it here from Buckner.
Well, they had their choice. Kevin Woods got him before he went up.
Yeah.
Ben Aird got him at the top.
But a good play there from Kevin. He was able to deflect the initial shot. And I saw Ben Aird looking up at the rim thinking that the ball was going to be shot. He didn't see the deflection. Buckner did see it, came up with the ball, and was able to get to the free throw line. I think what the Wolverines will try and do is anytime they get it or Buckner gets the ball in the low post, he may have an easy basket. They're going to try and foul him, make him earn it at the free throw line.
Wolverines by 8 right now.
Yeah, new defensive here. I mean, you see this.
Yeah, Kimbrough.
That was a different defense, one we haven't seen. It seemed like they had two players come up and just put a trap. You see the length that they've got? I mean, look where they've got Eric Buckner. He's way out at the three-point line. They're clearly trying to get him to cause some havoc defensively, and they've got number 14, Jihad Ali, out there as well. He's got some length.
Isaiah misses from way outside. Panthers showing some life. Ali against Keith Thompson. Wolverines' 9-point lead is down to 4.
Yeah, a couple nice offensive possessions there from Georgia State. They created this turnovers. They created this offense based on their defense because they certainly put the Wolverines in a bind there offensively, creating a couple turnovers on the last possessions here.
Coach Dick Hunsaker quickly up off the bench, call a timeout for the Wolverines. 2:03 to play till the break. Wolverines by 4 right now. Wolverines' murderous schedule begins tonight, really. You got this tough game at home against Georgia State. They leave tomorrow morning at the crack of dawn and fly cross country to Maine to play the University of Maine on Monday night. And then from there, they head on Tuesday back the other way and play the University of Montana on Thursday. They do get to come home for Christmas and then turn around and go right back to Chattanooga, Tennessee for a 2-day tournament. So right now, home sweet home.
Yeah, definitely. And you see what Georgia State's done. They've gone back more to this I guess, typical 2-3 zone. They've done a great job of mixing up their defenses.
Ben Aird, Taylor Brown, Kevin Woods now tried to get something inside. Georgia State comes away with it. Just a 4-point lead for the Wolverines. This game's never even been tied. Jumper outside, McGee, no. Isaiah coming back quickly the other way into the lane. Big Ben.
Here we go.
Now to Kevin Woods.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, they seem just a little bit off balance there. They were attacking. They just weren't quite on balance here. And you got to give a lot of credit to Georgia State here for their defensive pressure.
I don't know if Kevin missed that or if it was partially deflected. Ali for 3. It's an 8-0 run right now for Georgia State. Wolverines' lead was 9 at 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Now it's 49.5 seconds left. Their lead is just 1.
Let's go back to what we said, 3 minutes and 46 seconds left on the clock. We talked about the need to close out the half strong. And clearly Georgia State has done that. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now and a lot of momentum, and it causes and it comes from their defensive effort. They were able to get some turnovers. They were able to get to some missed shots. I think the Wolverines have fallen into the trap a little bit of not being able to, you know, they've turned the ball over, and they've kind of walked right into what Georgia State was trying to get them to walk into.
You see Isaiah's night so far. Most of that was in the first minute and a half. He had the first 9 points of the game for UVU.
Yeah, and I think the offense for the Wolverines, like I said, just looks a little bit flustered. See, there's this defense again, 1-3-1. You've got Eric Buckner at the three-point line with his length. Looks like a 1-3-1 trying to trap. It's just they're just mixing it up and doing an awesome job of it.
Isaiah took a few too many steps. Seventh turnover for UVU. Shot clock is off, 33.5 to play. 1 point lead for UVU here in the first half.
Yeah, Georgia State coach is saying they're going to play for one shot here. So, critical possession defensively here for the Wolverines. They've given up some ground to Georgia State on the offensive end. So they're clearly going to need a stop here to put an end to the momentum that the Panthers have. And we're going to get this screen. We're going to get White coming off the screen. And their offense goes from there.
Into the lane, Misha off the glass. And Georgia State has their first lead of the game. That foul is going to go against Taylor Brown. 36-35. It's a 10-0 run for Georgia State.
Yeah, great finish there from Josh Misha. But once again, what Georgia State is doing is they are spreading the court. They are spreading the floor. They're trying to get a pick here, a pick there, trying to get their players coming off of them and just getting them in space. And that's exactly what happened there from Josh Misha. Wolverines have to block out here, give them an opportunity for a last-second shot here at the half.
Nope. Instead, they throw it away, and they give Georgia State another shot. And that's how we'll send them to the locker room. The Wolverines go 3 minutes and 19 seconds without scoring a point to close out that first half. Wolverines led by 9, then a 10-0 run by Georgia State. It's a 36-35 halftime lead for the Panthers of Georgia State over the Wolverines of Utah Valley.
I'm Sylvia Bentley, an anthropology student at UVU studying ancient Peru, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm graduating with a diploma and a resume.
Think back to when you were a child. What did you dream of becoming as an adult? A pilot? A teacher? A nurse? Maybe a mathematician, a mechanic, or a scientist. Now imagine a place where everyone is focused on your success. Imagine an education that is personal, engaging, fun, and professional. With an education from UVU, all of this becomes true. Utah Valley University. It's your dream. It's your university.
36-35, the score at halftime. Georgia State on top of Utah Valley. Pretty entertaining first half. Only one lead change. That happened just a couple of seconds before we went to the locker rooms here at the UCCU Center. We're on the campus of Utah Valley University. They have one of the most up-and-coming Division I athletic programs in the country. One of the main sports that has really drawn a lot of attention is a wrestling program. They're coming off their most successful season after sending 3 wrestlers to the NCAA championships, and they crowned their first All-American in 125-pound Ben Kerr. Now this year, the program, they're pretty young. They've got a lot of new faces in the room, and one of their most challenging schedules ever. They bring in the defending national champion Penn State Nittany Lions right here into the UCCU Center on February 11th. You know, Coach Greg Williams has his wrestlers just building on the program's past success with a goal of bringing it to national prominence in the near future.
These guys are coming in and they're not setting the foundation, they're building on it. They're taking that to the next step, and there's a lot of faith and confidence in our program right now.
When I came in, it seemed like the upper class kind of dominated the recruiting class and the freshmen. There wasn't many of the freshmen that could push them and get them better to compete at the national level. But now we have the freshmen coming in, they're competing for starting spots right off the get-go, forcing the returners and the upperclassmen to get better and hone their skills a little.
A lot of these young guys have All-American throughout high school, so they have the confidence coming in, so they know they can do big things.
We were able to get some good kids, and Ben Kerr and Flint Ray and Justin Morrill, you know, Brad Darrington, some of those guys, and we're able to get guys to nationals those first 2 years that we were eligible to go postseason. The reputation of the program has been growing in the Western United States especially, and it's really helped our recruiting. We were able to get the 11th ranked recruiting class this last year. We're not used to that much talent in the room.
Like, everyone's improving so much week to week, and I think by the end of the year we're going to be competing with those top teams. We're going to compete for a division title.
In order to develop them, they have to have that mat experience. Getting the matches is great, but getting the matches against the guys they have to beat at nationals is the most important step.
We're a lot younger than a lot of those, you know, elite programs, but we can definitely give them a run for their money.
This year we have as many as 8 ranked teams. A few of them, like Penn State, is the returning, you know, national champs, and Boise State. We're going out and wrestling Cal Poly, Stanford, Wyoming. Those are all ranked teams.
I think it's a great opportunity to show what we really have, to shock the nation, show them how good we are, how good we can be.
I need her breathing angle this way.
It'll be an exciting season. We're really young, got a lot of talent, but we'll go places this year.
You know, we're going in the right direction, and we're super excited about our future.
All right, you heard from him on tape. We're going to take a break. When we come back, you'll hear from head wrestling coach Greg Williams in person. He's much more articulate in person. Trust me. 36-35, we're at halftime. Georgia State over UVU. Back in a minute.
Come join the student section and cheer for the mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
If you're serious about going to college and getting a head start on the process, come get a feel for what university life is like. UVU Days are designed with you in mind. UVU Days are department-specific events held on Saturdays that will allow you to become a student for a day. These events are free and breakfast and lunch are served. For more information, dates, and times, please visit our website at www.uvu.edu/future students. Come experience what UVU has to offer in your field of study.
Well, I guess I really got green fever when, like, I found out how Utah Valley University can get me a great education.
Are you here for zombies? This is green fever. Zombies meets down the hall, room 1023.
Costa Vida was born on the beach, so the coast inspires how we prepare everything, from our crisp salads to our irresistible burritos. And with more fresh sauces and salsas to choose from, meals at Costa Vida are truly a custom experience. Costa Vida, the coast is calling.
We're at halftime here at the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah. The Panthers of Georgia State with a 1-point lead over the Wolverines of Utah Valley. I'm Jim McCullough, joined courtside now by head wrestling coach Greg Williams. Thanks for stopping by, Coach. Good to see you as always.
Happy to be here.
I wish you guys could see the muscles rippling off this fellow, but you're not gonna get that chance. All right, tell us about your wrestling team this year. Good, bad. I mean, you were loaded last year. What about this year?
We're really young this year. We have 7 freshmen, 2 sophomores and a junior, and really he's a sophomore eligibility-wise because he was hurt his first 2 years while he was here. But it's a young team with a lot of talent, so we really don't know what to expect by the end of the year. It's really going to just depend on how well they develop. We have out of those 7 freshmen, some of them have the potential to really come on during the year.
Anybody special? Because you're replacing Ben Kerr, who was an All-American, and I understand he's trying out for the Olympic team. Yes. It's hard to replace him. So who are the stars now?
And Josh Wilson just stepped up. We were at the Cliff Keen Invitational a couple weeks ago, and he had 5 ranked guys that he wrestled there, beat 3 of them. He's now ranked 13th in the country. Just bumped up 1 more spot this last week. He's really got a legitimate shot to go on and be an All-American if he continues to progress. We have 2 other young men that they're really close. They're wrestling ranked guys and doing pretty well. We haven't beat them yet. But Monty Smallhouse, who's one of our captains at 174, and then Ethan Smith, who's a transfer. He's originally from Wasatch and came over from Purdue, but he's a freshman. Both those guys are really, really close. So we have 3 guys that potentially could go there and do some damage this year.
Now, you've got the Midlands Championships coming up, and then you've got Penn State coming in here. This is a heck of a schedule for you guys from a wrestling standpoint.
Yeah, one of our goals with the recruiting we've had the last couple of years, we brought in some real talented young men that really can accomplish a great deal here. The tone that Ben and Flint Ray and Justin Morrill, Brad Durrington, those guys set. Some guys really are excited to come here and take it to the next level. The Midlands tournament will be great because there are, again, a lot of opportunities to wrestle ranked guys. In our 4 duels, 2 of them were against top 10 teams, Ohio State and Illinois. We're going to keep giving them every opportunity to wrestle ranked guys and figure out how to beat them so that we're ready to go to make it to nationals and actually do something there.
All right, so quickly tell me, who are the main competitors for you guys out here at Utah Valley?
Well, in our conference, Wyoming's won the last 2 conference championships. They're ranked in the top 15. Northern Iowa, who's won 24 of the last 26 conference titles, and they're starting to get votes in the rankings. We're actually hosting them here this year on January 27th. But those are our 2 key rivals in the conference. Air Force and North Dakota State are also fairly tough teams, but those other 2 are the top.
So the arch rival would be?
Wyoming.
Wyoming?
Yes.
So something about those Wyoming Cowboys. Coach, they're telling us we're out of time. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck to you guys this season.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Coach Greg Williams, head wrestling coach here at UVU, and boy, do they have a heck of a program. Talk about a heck of a program, heck of a first half. Georgia State leads Utah Valley 36-35 here at halftime, and Georgia State trailed that entire half by as many as 9 points. But for the final 3 minutes and 19 seconds, Matt Peterson, UVU went scoreless. Highlights for you, sir.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at many of the highlights here. The Wolverines got off to a great start. We're going to see all these 3-point shots that Isaiah had. 9 quick early points, deep 3-point shots. He was clearly in a rhythm to begin the game. But then you got to give a lot of credit to Georgia State. They fought back in. The Wolverines continued to play hard. As you said, they were down 9 points at one point, but they never stopped playing. We see the nice crossover move there from Kevin Woods. But a lot of credit got to be given to Georgia State as they were able to fight back into the ball game. If I'm Coach Hunter at halftime, I'm saying, hey, let's just go out and keep playing. There's nothing more to say. You started to do a lot of things right at the end of the first half. If I'm Coach Hunsaker, I'm saying, hey, we played great for everything but 4 minutes. Let's focus on those 4 minutes and let's improve. We've got a whole 20 more minutes of basketball to play and a very good opponent that they're playing against.
Well, as you can imagine, when the score is just 36-35, most of the stats are pretty even as well.
Yeah, you've got the Wolverines went cold there at the end of the first half. Ended up 12 of 28, 36% from the 3-point line, and they did have a number of turnovers. Georgia State was kind of the opposite. They started very slow, but then they heated up towards the end of the first half. 14 of 27. 33% from the 3-point line. They also with 7 turnovers. So, definitely a lot of things, kind of a back and forth first half, which makes it all the more exciting going into the second half here.
2 players in double figures in this game. There's one of them, Isaiah Williams. He's got 11 points. He had 9 in the first minute and a half. Finished with 11 at halftime. Devontae White, meanwhile, 11 points for Georgia State. So those are the 2 players in double figures, 2 leading scorers. 43% shooting for Utah Valley, 52% shooting in that first half for Georgia State. Back with your second half coming up.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Come join the student section and cheer for the mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Utah Valley trailing Georgia State by 1. We're set to start our second half of action here at the UCCU Center. I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Thanks for joining us tonight. Holton Hunsaker, just 3 points. Hit us 1 of 2 from three-point land. Wolverines will start the second half with possession. Hunsaker, Geddes Robinson, Keith Thompson, Ben Aird, and Isaiah Williams. Floater in the lane, no. Volleyball game breaks out. Geddes Robinson pulls it down, and a foul is going to be called against Georgia State. James Fields.
Geddes always very active offensively. That was one of my keys looking forward to the second half, is the Wolverines have to be aggressive on the offensive glass.
Ben Aird on the inbounds play, can't get it to go. Another foul against Portland State. We played all of, 11 seconds and 2 fouls against Portland State. That one's going to go against Misha, his first.
That was a well-run out-of-bounds play there for the Wolverines. Holton Hunsaker was a clear play trying to draw the offense, trying to draw the defense out by running Isaiah Williams out to the three-point line and Keith Williams out to the three-point line. It allowed Ben Aird, the whole design of that play is for him to try and find some space in the defense there, and he clearly did that and got to the line.
Ben makes the back end of 2. So the Wolverines on the board first in the second. UVU led in the early going 9-2. They led by as many as 9, and that was with 3 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the first half. Then they went scoreless. Didn't score again in the first half. Fields inside, shot blocked from behind by KT, but a foul is going to be called against Utah Valley. That one's going to go against Ben Aird.
Yeah, obviously Keith got the block, but a good call there as we see. Nice dribble penetration here from Fields. Ben rotates over a little bit too late. It's like they get him with the body as we see the Fields going aggressively. And Keith came in from behind and was able to block that. But I think the biggest key for me defensively in the second half for the Wolverines is going to be what we just saw there. They have got to be able to stop Georgia State guards to get to the rim. They've got to be able to stop Georgia State from coming off of those picks and just creating and getting to the rim, because the defense just gets broken down when that happens.
Georgia State, a heads-up play by Mishaw. They get it back.
Man, that's hurt the Wolverines a couple times tonight. When you get that rebound, you've got to keep that strong, because you're going to have guards coming in from behind and swiping at it. And that time, as you said, Mishaw was able to swipe it away. You can't just give up these second opportunities.
White, long two. Uh-oh. They give him a three. Yep. 39-36. Isaiah Williams. He charged.
Let's check the replay here. See where the defender is. I think the only question is whether or not the defender was in the restricted circle there that they have. We can't tell from that angle, but it looked like good effort there from Eric Buckner coming over. It doesn't look like he was inside the circle there, but it looked like he was kind of moving into it at the last moment. But as we said earlier, the official calls it. It's a foul.
Isaiah's first foul. Still 39-36. Hunsaker misses. Georgia State with the rebound. Fields. Over to Ali. Keith Thompson came from behind and will get the foul.
Yeah, Wolverines are just a step late. I mean, Georgia State's able to get by that first line of defense, and Keith obviously did a nice job on the recovery there, but did foul. But the Wolverines are just a step late on their perimeter defense. It just looks like Georgia State's able to get that extra step right off of the bat, and it just puts the Wolverine defenders on the perimeter in a bind. And it forces obviously the help defense to come over and getting your big players involved, which can be a good thing, but ideally you would want to keep those perimeter players out on the perimeter, not allow them to get deep into the paint.
Georgia State just 41% shooting from the free throw line. For the season, they're over 66%. 4-point lead for Georgia State.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a look at the three here. I think they're going to want to take a look at that three that they called a little bit earlier from Devontae White. They're going to be asking for a replay here, because they're going to want to see if that shot was a three-point shot that they ruled to get him to 39 points, as you said. You had called it initially that you thought it was a two-pointer, and they're going to definitely take a look at that.
Well, only because the official right in front of us did not raise a hand when the shot was in the air, but after the shot went down, he held up 3 fingers.
Yeah, they're clearly going to go back and take a look at that.
I'm surprised they can go back that far, because we've had a lot of action.
Yeah, we've had, if this was college football or the NFL, right? As soon as that next play starts, it's too late to do that. So they're going to go back and want to see that replay. It seemed like, just from our level here, it didn't seem like he was behind the three-point line, because the screen was set. It seems like it was set underneath the three-point line. So we'll see what they come back with here.
Well, the officials are trying to get that particular play onto their replay screens, and because it happened such a long time ago, that creates problems for the technicians up in the booth going, you want to watch what?
Yeah. Well, they don't have too much game film to go back, or of the film to go back, because we haven't even played 2 minutes yet. But
Georgia State leads at 40-36. Still 18-16. All right, here it is. You're seeing it, and the official's seeing the exact same thing. It's the black line.
Yeah, he's nowhere near. He's not behind. That's a two-pointer.
Right.
Yep.
I think the official got confused which line was which. All right, so take a point off the board
Nice work of the camera crew there, huh? You know, the technicians, as you said, going back, able to get that, get that point taken off the board.
Hey, these are just students from UVU's digital media department that are running cameras, tape, replays, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't take but about 5 seconds for us to get another foul.
We're getting another stoppage here, but that was, again, that 1-3-1 defense. Oh, it's a very risky play there from Holton, and we saw it a couple. Well, I saw a couple plays like that in the first half. One from Kevin and one from Isaiah. When you get that type of defense, you try and it's very tempting to try and split it. You know, it's very tempting to try and split the perimeter defenders because you have so much space behind that the 1-3-1 defense. Behind that line of three, you've got so much area. So, you know, offensive players are clearly trying to split it and, you know, not turn the key is to not turn the ball over.
Well, the scoreboard, it should be 39-36. The scoreboard here in the UCCU Center showing 38-36. So our digital media students need to come down here and straighten them out, because the official scorer, who is not a digital media student, has got things messed up. It's 39-36. Now they got the scoreboard right. That's Ron Hunter in his first year at Georgia State. You know, what the heck? You took 2 points off. Not only was it not a three, you took 2 points off instead of 1. All right, now we're set to go, I think. Alfonso Hubbard.
No, we've got the right score up there.
Stolen away, Georgia State. Fields just took it away on the run. White missed it. Hubbard grabbed it. And stolen away again, but a reach-in foul at Mishaw. Lightning quick. Josh Mishaw, 6'6", senior from Missouri City, Texas.
You know, Jim, if it's not clear at this point, I think it needs to be pointed out that Georgia State is going for steals. They're trying to get turnovers, and I think the Wolverines need to be aware of that. At every point that they are on the basketball floor, there's going to be a player looking to take advantage and try and get a turnover. So, you know, there's been these last couple possessions where the Wolverines, one from Alfonso Hubbard and that last one where Holton wasn't aware, they're just turning the ball over. They've got to be aware that these players are trying to swipe at the ball.
Isaiah in and out on the three. It will belong to Georgia State. The Panthers of Georgia State average 8.6 steals a game. They've already got 9 tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's great hustle on their part. It's the defenses that they're running, and it's just the awareness that Coach Hunter probably, you know, preaches to them day in and day out that, hey, we can get teams to turn the ball over, and that creates offense for us. And that's why they're such a great defensive team statistically. And won 7 in a row.
Mishaw can't get it to go. Ben Ayer's going to be called for the foul. For Big Ben, that's foul number 3. First player on either team with 3 fouls. I take that back. Mishaw's out there with 3.
But look at this, Jim. There's not another defender around. There's not another Wolverine defender. You don't see even a Georgia State player around. So that's that spread offense that they're trying to do. And it's a very tough matchup there for Ben guarding Mishaw, because he clearly has the quickness advantage because he is a smaller player. But once again, it goes back to that fact that, you know, let's get our playmakers in space and let them create.
Okay, now it is 40-36. That's what the score was prior to all that 2-point, 3-point stuff. Mishaw's got 7. Geddes Robinson with the rebound. That's his 7th rebound. He's 25th in the nation, by the way, in rebounding, averaging 9.8 a game is Geddes Robinson. Much different start to this half than the way the first half started. Just whistle after whistle here in the second half. Foul going to go against Eric Buckner.
You know, that's really what the Wolverines need. I was going to make a point that I can't remember the last time that the Wolverines got some type of points at the basket, or, you know, in the paint. You know, it's become a very perimeter-oriented game for the Wolverines, and they've You know, in the very beginning, it was helping him because they were able to knock down shots. But you know, Georgia State has really kind of cut off the interior play of the Wolverines until that last play where they were able to split the defense, get it in the paint, and Geddes going to the rim here. I mean, this is exactly what you need. Look how much space he has to, you know, to operate with there, and was able to draw the foul. With those zones and with those different defensive pressures, they're trying to get the Wolverines near the half-court line, and they've done a pretty good job of pressing them out and not allowing them to get where they want.
Geddes makes 1 of 2, 7.7 rebounds for the senior from the Bronx. 3-point game. Georgia State out in front. 16.5 to play. Kimbrough. But it's Devontae White. Buries it. That one was a 3. 43-37.
See, I mean, there we go. We've got, once again, you know, very dangerous when you're a big guy and you get that ball at the half-court line and you're not accustomed to bringing the ball up. You're going to have people coming from behind trying to swipe the ball at you. You've got to be very careful in handling the ball. And Geddes is a good ball handler. Just on that possession, he got caught.
Kicking the ball still belonged to UVU. Very quiet night for Holton Hunsaker. 3 points. He hasn't taken a free throw. He was 16 of 16 from the free throw line in his last game against Portland State.
Yeah, good call there from the official.
All right. Maybe I shouldn't say it was a quiet game anymore.
I mean, the Wolverines are just out of sorts. They clearly are out of sorts. They're not accustomed to being in this situation as far as the defensive effort that Georgia State is putting forth. What'll keep them in the game is if they can continue to play very good defense themselves.
Tipped away. Wolverines come up with a Georgia State turnover. Wolverines need a spark. Hubbard. Alfonso Hubbard, the transfer. His first points of the night. Working it inside. Devontae White hit the deck hard, but Jihad Ali was there to finish.
Yeah, great job of defensive effort there from Isaiah initially on White, but just a breakdown in the defensive rebounding for the Wolverines.
Geddes Robinson working it inside. Picks up the foul against Eric Buckner. Buckner picks up foul number 3. 15 minutes to play. Wolverines down by 6.
What makes you feel the need to pretend to have green fever?
Well, it's totally real. Just because I'm different.
I can see the magic marker in your pocket. Well, why don't we focus on ways that you can actually get green fever, like wanting hands-on experience or wanting a degree from UVU that will actually help you in the real world. I think Beverly's made some real progress today.
Second half shooting, Utah Valley just 1 of 5. 39% overall for the game. Meanwhile, Georgia State, not bad. 51% shooting. They averaged just 43 on the season. Tonight in this game, 51%. They play pretty well on the road.
You know, a couple stats that I noticed here, Jim, I want to point out real quick. Wolverines with 12 turnovers and 8 points in the paint. You know, you never want to have more turnovers than you do points in the paint, and that just shows what we were talking about. This is a very perimeter game for UVU.
Isaiah misses again from three-point land. A foul on attempted putback from Geddes Robinson. This one's going to go against Georgia State's Jihad Ali.
Yeah, great play there, ran. Isaiah with a great look. You can't complain about that. More times than not, he'll knock that shot down. But then you just allow Geddes to work inside. And that's going to be the 8th offensive rebound for the Wolverines. And once again, it's that great offense. You know, if you can get those second chance opportunities, it's only going to help you in the long run here.
Georgia State in danger of getting some players in some real foul trouble. Ali with 3. Eric Buckner with 3. Josh Mishaw with 3. 2 other players with 2 each, Fields and White.
You know, that gives Georgia State 7 fouls. You know, the Wolverines are going to be in the bonus the rest of the game. If I'm the players, I'm thinking, hey, we've got to stay aggressive because each time we get fouled, we're going to the line. Stops the clock, gives us a chance for those easy points.
Georgia State by 4. Mishaw works against Isaiah to the glass, making it look easy.
Yeah, they've got a lot of talented, a lot of skilled guys on the perimeter. No matter what size, no matter what height, they've got a lot of guys that can create opportunities, and Josh Mishaw is the epitome of that.
Jumper outside, no. Ali with the rebound for Georgia State. Wolverines are just ice cold here in the second half.
We're going to get an offensive foul. This is something that I saw Geddes Robinson trying to recover, but an offensive foul is going to be called on James Vincent.
His second. Vincent, biggest player on the team, 6'10", 267 from Columbus, Georgia. Just a junior.
Yeah, what he did on that, he had great position, but he extended his arm and he caught Geddes Robinson in the head. Looked like more like in the neck. So that type of movement's going to get a call.
3-point from Jihad Ali. Forced it. On the floor, picked up. Geddes Robinson. Geddes has 11 points. Wolverines back to within 4. Wolverines led in the first half by as many as 9. Georgia State's biggest lead here in the second half has been 6. Robinson now with a double-double. Isaiah forces it in. Thought he drew the foul. No whistle. Georgia State comes away with it.
Tempo's picking up here. I think this is good for both teams. Key here, watch how well Holton can get over that top of the screen that comes each and every play, it seems.
Ali misses, covered with a rebound. (47-43). Geddes Robinson. Put back is good.
Geddes must have heard me talking about how the Wolverines don't have any points in the paint, because he's come away with 6 straight points there. All easy layups, all well-earned baskets. And giving that life to the Wolverines inside that will surely open up their perimeter game.
6-2 run the Wolverines are on right now, as they have drawn to within 2. Heck of a college basketball game here in Orem, Utah. Nice. Ali inside. 49-45, and immediately Georgia State wants to take a timeout. Here's the replay partner.
Now what happened, that play broke down. Now obviously when Devontae White was driving to the basket, he slipped and fell. Ball went into a player's hand, and then was just chaos from there. Ended up with a nice layup there. But I think the Wolverines have done a good job here fighting their way back into the ballgame. They've done it with defense, and they've been able to create offensive opportunities, mainly Geddes Robinson providing a big-time spark inside.
51% shooting for Georgia State, 37 for UVU. Geddes Robinson with yet another double-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds. He averages right at a double-double. One of the nation's leaders when it comes to double-doubles. He's got 13. Isaiah's got 11. They're the only two Wolverines in double figures. Meanwhile, for Georgia State, Devontae White, 16 points. Jihad Ali with 10. Josh Mishaw with 9. .37% shooting for UVU on the game. Hubbard, Hunsaker, Keavi Enos, Geddes Robinson in, Isaiah Williams. Isaiah with it. Had a really hot start. Since then, Isaiah has only scored 2 points after the first minute and a half. Hunsaker in the lane, can't get the little fall away floater to go. White can't get it. Buckner follows, and he's fouled for the and one. Geddes Robinson got the foul. For Geddes, that's going to be foul number 3. That is not good news for Utah Valley. 51-45, Wolverines down by 6.
Utah Valley University. Your life, your beat, your university.
Geddes Robinson, just before he went to that break, picked up his 3rd personal foul. Ben Aird with 3. That's your 2 big starters, Matt, both with 3 fouls each. But, you know, we already mentioned it, Georgia State's got a couple guys with 3 as well. So, foul, foul, foul.
Yeah, definitely. To me, Jim, the last 12 minutes here is going to be all about one thing defensively for UVU, and that's going to be how well can they defend the perimeter? How well can they defend the dribble drive? Because when Georgia State is able to create, that's what puts the Wolverines in a bind. So I think that's what it's going to be all about defensively. Now, offensively is another story because, you know, they haven't done as well in the second half as they did obviously in the first half. Continue to be patient, take good shots, don't force anything, work it inside, and you know, run your plays and you'll get good shots.
Keavi.
Just like that. You know, they didn't force anything, they didn't try and do anything out of the ordinary, and Keavi nails a 3.
His first 3-pointer of the night. 52-48. Wolverines to within 4. Mishaw dishes off to Ali. Under 11 minutes to play. They're working inside. Buckner, no, but tipped up and in by James Fields.
See, that's the type of shot you want to force. You've got to get those types of opportunities, and you've got to secure the the defensive rebound. Just a lapse of concentration there, allowing White with the easy putback.
54-48. Wolverines down by 6. They led in the first half by as many as 9. The 6-point lead matches Georgia State's biggest here in the second half. Hunsaker tried to get in, is fouled. And because that's the 9th team foul, Holton Hunsaker will be at the free throw line. Holton Hunsaker, by the way, working on a streak of 22 straight free throws he's made. 16 of them a week ago against Portland State.
And that's what the guards for UVU have to do. They've got to, you know, keep moving. They can't just stand around the perimeter. They've got to keep and stay active. move the ball. Don't just stand in one spot. And when you get an opportunity and you see a gap in the defense, take advantage of it. Be aggressive, drive to the basket, because more than likely you're either going to create an opportunity for your big guy or you're going to get fouled and go to the free throw line like Holton did on that last possession.
He pulls the Wolverines to within 4. He's got 24 straight free throws now. Last year he had 38 in a row. Kid's an amazing free throw shooter. Inside, no. Hubbard with the rebound for UVU. Halfway through our second half. Wolverines are down by 4. Isaiah drives in, forces it up. No, he'll shoot 2. That foul is going to go against Buckner. His 4th.
Wow. See what I mean, Jim? I mean, that's the formula. You know, that's the formula. Be active on the perimeter, pass it around. When you see those opportunities, go take advantage of it and go strong. Don't try and, you know, Buckner's a great shot blocker, and that's a key foul for him, as you said, number 4. He has to come out and sit. So the Wolverines on that perimeter just stay active, remaining, keep going to the basket, keep pushing towards the rim, and good things will happen.
Isaiah, for the season, is now 23 of 25 free throws after missing that one. Only a second miss this season. It's a 3-point lead for Georgia State. Kimbrough. Wow. Tony Kimbrough Jr., 9 points.
Yeah, and that was all created by number 12. That was all created by Devontae White, and he being able to break down the perimeter defense.
Benair. 6 points for Ben. Under 9 minutes to play. Wolverines down by 3. White hanging. Nope. Hubbard with a rebound for UVU. Isaiah hanging. Nope, just can't get it to go. Isaiah 4 of 13 shooting, and a foul against Georgia State. Partner, as you say, tough call.
Well, I don't know what they're calling. I think they called it on number 11. Yeah, that was a missed call. I mean, that's honestly a missed call, because clearly he had the basketball. You know, he had the basketball. Yeah, we got Coach Hunter.
That's exactly what Coach is saying.
Yeah, he had the ball. And
he can hear you,
yeah,
evidently.
He ran through Isaiah Williams when he had the basketball. So a break for the Wolverines, but that was a missed call there.
Kimbrough's second foul, by the way. Okay, Isaiah's missed 2 free throws in a row for the first time ever in his career. Now he's missed 3 in a row. 56-53, Wolverines down by 3, 8:20 to play. Big Ben fights for that one. Hunsaker. Isaiah's open again. Cannot get anything to go.
Yeah, they've just gone cold. I mean, obviously that start that they had was very furious and made everything, and they've just struggled since then.
Isaiah has missed his last 7 three-point attempts. He made his first 3. Isaiah scored the first 9 points for UVU. They led 9-2. And now Georgia State starting to turn it on. Jihad Ali.
Yep, there's that inability to stop the perimeter driving and the dribble drive. It's been something that we've seen a lot of teams come in here and a lot of teams that have played the Wolverines all year. They've tried to exploit that, and Georgia State, probably more than any other team I've seen so far, is doing a good job of it.
Big Ben jumper. He can't get it to go.
The beautiful thing, though, is we may get a timeout here from Georgia State, but you know, there's two sides of the court. There's offensive, defense, and if the Wolverines can continue to get some stops, they'll be great.
That time, Kimbrough, his foot was on the sideline when he caught the pass. That brings us to another timeout. 7 minutes to play in this one. Wolverines are down by 5.
Dawn is breaking at Utah Valley University. 33,000 students are descending on campus. What are they after? Knowledge? Opportunity? They might be pursuing an MBA, an automotive certificate, or a bachelor's degree in philosophy. But despite their different paths, they share a common understanding.
Think back to when you were a child. What did you dream of becoming as an adult? A pilot? A teacher? A nurse? Maybe a mathematician? A mechanic? Or a scientist? Now imagine a place where everyone is focused on your success. Imagine an education that is personal, engaging, fun, and professional. With an education from UVU, all of this becomes true. Utah Valley University. It's your dream. It's your university.
Utah Valley Wolverines are looking for anybody who can make a shot. They've put up 18 shots here in the second half. They've made only 5. It's just 27% shooting. In the first half, they were at 43%. That's what kind of a drop-off they've experienced. And a lot of that has to do with Georgia State.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they forced this game to be perimeter. Wolverines with 14 points in the paint, Georgia State with 32. I mean, 14 of the Wolverines' 53 points have been in the paint. And when you're forced to take so many outside shots, that's a tough one for me. You may not make all of them, and you're going to struggle. And that's what's happened to the Wolverines. They haven't been able to convert on their shots, and that's what's got them behind. I need to go home and work on that one. Outside shots.
There's certain things you'll learn, partner, that you just don't try to.
Yeah, that one I struggled with.
Speaking of struggling, Isaiah's just 4 of 14. Holton Hunsaker 1 of 6. Geddes Robinson pulls down the rebound, and Isaiah has 1 step too many.
See, that was a good possession for the Wolverines. That was a nice job of Keave. He did a nice job of using a pump fake and getting into the teeth of the defense. But you know, once again, just a missed shot. Wasn't able to convert.
Georgia State with possession. Jumper, baseline, good. That one from Ali. 3. It's an 8-point lead. This is the largest lead Georgia State has held in the game.
Yeah, I think the Wolverines need to show some urgency, a little bit more urgency than what they're showing right now, because you know, the way that Georgia State's playing defense, Wolverines got to do something to change it up, change up the tempo, show a little bit more urgency.
Hunsaker. Georgia State, the beneficiaries of just ice-cold shooting by Utah Valley in the second half.
Here's where we really need to see it picked up here. They've got to get some movement. Yep.
Taylor Brown.
That's all it's gonna take is one shot. I mean, all you need is one shot to drop, and that's why any basket can be the biggest basket, because the Wolverines were really dying for a hoop there. And when they get that turnover, Taylor Brown will see here just a nice spot up in transition, able to knock down the shot. I mean, you've got a little over 5 minutes left in the game. Your defense is what is going to have to step up here. Obviously, the offense has been struggling, but defensively, they've got to get some stops.
For those watching not familiar with the UCCU Center, that line you saw is actually the NBA three-point line. The NCAA three-point line is where the two-toned wood meets. It's kind of a green line between the women's old three-point line and the NBA three. A lot of lines here.
Hard to keep straight, right? You can see why the officials earlier maybe missed that call, because there is the contrasting floor color, there's the contrasting three-point lines, a lot of lines to keep track of.
61-56, Wolverines down by 5, 5 minutes to play. Devontae White, he's got 16 points for Georgia State. Jumper, no. Ali with the weak side rebound. Fresh shot clock to work with. Charge. Holton Hunsaker does that about 4 or 5 times a game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you need. You make a basket on the offensive end, you're able to get a stop on a turnover like that on the defensive end. Things are going well for the Wolverines here. Obviously, they're going to have to capitalize offensively, but we're going to get a heavy dose of number 12, Devontae White here, closing out the game.
His second foul, by the way. Wolverines down by 5. Inside Isaiah. In trouble. They're going to say Misha hit it. No, now they're going to give it to Georgia State. One official is pointing one way, the other one is pointing the other.
Yeah, I think it was going to get a stoppage of play, but I think there was obviously first deflected off of Georgia State, and then off of Geddes Robinson there at the very end. A very important possession here. 5-point game, just over 4 minutes to go. The Wolverines desperately need to get a stop.
Buckner, 63-56. Isaiah for a long three. No. He's 3 of 11 from three-point land.
Yeah, and I sense a little bit of panic now, maybe more so for the Wolverines. Obviously, that was a good shot from Isaiah. He was wide open, took a good shot. Just hasn't been his half here tonight.
Whistle. .327 to play, 63-56. Wolverines down by 7.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
I'm Patty Garcia, a geology student at UVU, and this is Engaged Learning. At UVU, I'm learning by doing.
Georgia State led at halftime by only 1. It was 36-35. In the second half, Utah Valley, 27% shooting. 6 of 22. And that's why right now Utah Valley is down by 7.
Yeah, and it's obviously not over. There's still plenty of time here, but a lot of things have to go right for the Wolverines, and number one is defensively. They can't allow any more easy baskets and second opportunities that to Georgia State. That's got to be the number one thing that they focus on.
Georgia State, by the way, 48% second half shooting. That foul is going to go against the Wolverines. Taylor Brown. His second, team 7th, so it's 1-1 for Mishaw. Mishaw on the season, a 78% free throw shooter. So far in this game, 1 of 3.
Yeah, Taylor tried to get around the screen there, wasn't able to do so. Just went right through the screen, and it's called for the foul. As you said, 1-1 here. And no greater time for the Wolverines are right now hoping for a miss from Mishaw. They've got to block out. Can't give up any offensive rebounds if they do get a miss.
Josh Mishaw, 6'6" senior, Missouri City, Texas. He'll have another one. It's an 8-point lead again. Make it 9, their biggest. Coming up on 3 minutes left here at the UCCU Center, where Utah Valley is undefeated this season. Hunsaker. His first three-pointer since early in the first half. He's got 8 points now. Wolverines back to within 6.
Yeah, a big shot there from Holton, and much needed. We've got Coach Hunter right in front of us yelling at his team. He clearly was not happy. Definitely a defensive breakdown. Nobody matches up to Holton. Nice job of squaring to the basket. Very confident shot there. Cut the lead down to 6 points.
His toe was on that NBA line that we pointed out, well beyond the NCAA line.
I think what Georgia State will try to do here is obviously work that clock. That clock is your best friend at the moment, and your defense has been playing great. I don't think that the Wolverines are going to try and put any type of press or full court pressure on. I think they'll just back up into their normal half-court defense. Coach Hunsaker is going to be telling them, look, no easy, no simple fouls, and if we get a miss, let's get and secure the defensive rebound.
Travel, Georgia State, turnover. Their 12th turnover. Ben Aird back into the game for UVU. 2:44 to play. Ben's out there with 3 fouls. Geddes Robinson with 3 for UVU. Turnover, Wolverines.
Yeah, that's a killer. I thought they had Isaiah Williams open in the corner there. Tried to force it inside to Big Ben. And a very costly turnover for the Wolverines. That's the last thing that you wanted or needed in that instance. And they're definitely going to have to now at this point to extend out and put some pressure on.
15-12, the turnover advantage for Georgia State. Long jumper by White. Under 2 minutes to play now. Wolverines down by 6. Don't seem to be in too big of a hurry. Geddes Robinson works it and got fouled. Jihad Ali got it. His third. 1:38. Going to put Geddes Robinson at the line.
And nice job, Geddes, using that pump fake again. And what caused the foul to be called was the fact that Jihad Ali left his feet. I mean, I think if he stays on his feet in that instance and keeps his hands straight up, I don't think that's a foul. But the fact that he left his feet there, made it a pretty easy call for the official.
It's a 5-point lead now for Georgia State.
You know, definitely setting up for a close finish here, Jim. If Geddes can make this free throw, we're down to a 4-point game, and becomes a whole new ball game than what it was a couple minutes ago when it was a 9-point lead.
Missed it. Held ball is the call. Possession arrow, Georgia State.
No cheap fouls here for the Wolverines. No easy fouls. The Panthers are going to try and run the clock down. They're going to get the ball into the hands of number 12, Devontae White, and let him run the show. So no cheap fouls here.
Mishaw just throws it up, and Ben Aird will pick up foul number 4. 1:18 left.
Ben does his best job, gives a very good effort there to try and keep Mishaw in front of him, but just at the last minute there, I think they called a foul with the body and sending Mishaw to the line.
Makes the first to push it out to a 6-point Panther lead. Josh Mishaw with 12 points in this one. Hunsaker pull up, blocked by Ali, and another held ball. This time it'll be UVU.
See what play the Wolverines run on the out of bounds here, because the Panthers are going to be in the zone. Wolverines need a good quick shot here.
Up top it comes to Big Ben. 1 minute left in this one. Wolverines down by 6. Hunsaker tried to force it inside to Geddes. Oh my goodness. Georgia State hustling, and Big Ben called for the foul, and he's not happy about that. Meanwhile, Tony Kimbrough Jr., what hustle this kid showed. Going after that basketball, slid head first into one of the billboards here. Oh, actually hit right between them.
I don't know what they were calling there. I mean, they called a foul on Ben. I don't understand what that was. He's saying a push. But we could see a replay of that again. He called a push on Ben. I don't understand where the official was getting a push from there. That was a very interesting call. I'm a little bit confused on what was called.
Well, Ben Aird is fouled out of the game. 6 points, 4 rebounds for Big Ben.
You know, having said that, it looks like we're going to get the replay here. So
where's number 34? Here's Ben.
Here's Ben coming in on the right. No foul there. He doesn't call anything there. Ben swipes at the ball. No foul. Swipes at the ball there. And then the official calls. You'll see him call it right here. I don't understand. Well, look at his motion. He says his motion is like he pushed him out of bounds. I don't understand. I don't understand the call there. You know, having said that, going back to that offensive possession for the Wolverines, that was just atrocious. You know, they had no idea what they were going to be doing on offense. They were in panic mode, and credit Georgia State because they were able to cause the turnover.
68-60 with 43.9 to play. Yeah, the Wolverines need some time to regroup here.
You know, we've been talking about the offensive woes for UVU the entire game, but you know, we need to give some credit where credit is due here to Georgia State, because they've been incredible tonight defensively. You know, they haven't played one possession of man-to-man defense that I can recall. I think they've been in zone defense, a variety of zone defenses the entire night. and they've done a number on the Wolverines. Wolverines haven't been able to get into any type of offensive rhythm, and that's really what's put them behind the 8 ball. So a lot of credit needs to be given to Coach Ron Hunter in the way that he's coached his team defensively tonight.
Georgia State came in here on a 7-game winning streak. 8 in a row is the most that any Georgia State team has ever won. So a victory here tonight will tie the school's longest winning streak. They are off to their best start, by the way, in 10 years. Ever since Lefty Driesell was their coach.
And they've got a good team. You know, we said at the very beginning that on paper this was going to be the toughest team that the Wolverines have played at home so far. And throughout the course of the game, that fact has played out. You know, 44 seconds left. The Wolverines down by 8. They obviously need a quick possession, and no matter what, I think whether or not you get a basket that's made or a basket miss, you're gonna see a foul.
36 seconds. Hunsaker. Wow, he got somebody flying through the air. Hunsaker will shoot a few. Kimbrough. Kimbrough's already 6'5".
Yeah, you see what happened here is Holton saw the player coming right at him. He saw him ready to leave his feet. 3 players coming at him. And
I don't even know if Kimbrough touched him.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
It was the wake behind him that just knocked Holton over.
Yeah, it's always, if you're a defender in that situation, you're thinking, really? I mean, your intention is not to foul him in that case. You're just trying to at least get some ball pressure up on a 3-point shot.
68-61.
I think you're exactly right. There wasn't any contact there. Now you're definitely going to get, as I was saying earlier, on a make or a miss here, whoever gets the ball for Georgia State initially, Wolverines have to foul immediately.
Holton Hunsaker, the son of head coach Dick Hunsaker, makes all 3. And no time off the clock to do it. 68-63.
Getting some subs into the game, all perimeter players trying, you don't have to immediately foul. You can try and get a steal, but you don't want to let more than 1 or 2 seconds run off of the clock.
Isaiah reaches in and stops the clock by fouling James Fields, so we'll walk back down to the other end and shoot a couple. 32 seconds left. Fields 2 of 4 from the stripe tonight. On the season, a 74% free throw shooter. Both teams in the super bonus, so every foul will put somebody at the line shooting 2. So far tonight, Georgia State 59, well, that'll go up a little bit. 14 of 23 now shooting from the free throw line. Wolverines, by the way, 18 of 27. 6-point lead. .28 seconds. Wolverines need to get it up there. Bouncing, finally drops through, good for Geddes. That took about 3 extra seconds off the clock, just bouncing around.
Up and around the rim there.
69-65. Another timeout on the floor. Obviously, we'll stay here with 17.6 to play. Wolverines down by 4. If you joined us late, Utah Valley jumped out in front early, 9-2. It was all Isaiah Williams. He hit 3 3-pointers. Since then, he's missed all 8 since he hit those first 3. Wolverines led by as many as 8 in the first, or excuse me, by as many as 9. But with 3 minutes and 19 seconds left in the first half, Wolverines went scoreless and allowed Georgia State to go in a 10-0 run and lead at halftime by 1, 36-35. Second half, Wolverines have not led.
And I'll go back to a stat that we've looked at the entire night as we're going to hopefully see a quick a steal here and then a quick foul. We're going to get just that.
Kevin Woods reaching in on Devontae White.
Wanted to make a point of the points in the paint. Georgia State has 34 points in the paint.
Wow.
The Wolverines with 16. So 16 of the Wolverines' 65 points have been in the paint. They just haven't had an inside presence, and it's come because of the Panthers' defense. That zone, the tendency is when you play a zone or play against a zone, you immediately think, oh, hey, we're gonna have open three-point shots, and they have. They've had a lot of shots, but they just haven't had the inside game tonight to keep them in the game. And Georgia State's forced them further and further and further out on the offensive end. And the odds are, as you start taking those longer shots, it's harder to make them.
12 seconds. Hunsaker. My goodness gracious.
We got a two-point game.
What in the world? Where has that been? Timeout on the floor. 10 seconds to play. It's a two-point game. Holton Hunsaker just buries the longest three we've seen in a long time in this facility. He's got 14 points.
And just as I get done talking about the further and further out you get, the harder it is to make. I mean, that was the deepest three that we've seen tonight, and right in. Nice shot there from Holton. Yeah, he's on the U there. That's NBA times 2 3-point shot there. So 10.1 seconds left. I mean, if I'm the Wolverines, I'm playing with a lot of life and a lot of energy right now, because you have an opportunity to create a turnover on the out-of-bounds play, and you're automatically going to foul, as we said. Hopefully, if you can get some type of miss, then that'll give you the opportunity to tie up the game. We were not expecting this, what, a minute and a half ago of game time? No, we were certainly not expecting this. You got to give a lot of credit for the Wolverines for fighting their way back in the game.
I'm sure a lot of people probably turned the channel with 3:09 to play. And Georgia State up by 9 points. And UVU just ice cold. Well, UVU began the game. They couldn't miss. Maybe they'll finish the game.
Yeah,
like that.
I think they're obvious. Georgia State's going to try and get the ball into the hands of Devontae White here, but I think it would be ideal for the Wolverines to get into someone else's hands.
They do. They'll get it into Ali. He's fouled immediately. 8.9 seconds left. So we'll go down, and Jihad Ali, redshirt senior from Lithonia, Georgia, will be at the free throw line. Ali is 1 of 2 from the stripe tonight.
62% on the year, so he is the ideal candidate in that situation to be at the free throw line.
It's a 2-point lead for Georgia State. Make it 3. 71-68. Georgia State, the other 4 players are way back at the other end of the gym. He missed it. Wolverines can tie with a 3. Here's Isaiah. Slapped away. Hunsaker's got it. Stolen away. Georgia State is going to win this one by running out the final few seconds. What a finish. Georgia State wins their 8th straight game. 71-68. A 3-point victory here at the UCCU Center. We'll take a break. Back with your Costa Vida postgame show coming up.
I'm Sylvia Bentley, an anthropology student at UVU studying ancient Peru, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm graduating with a diploma and a resume.
Think back to when you were a child. What did you dream of becoming as an adult? A pilot? A teacher? A nurse? Maybe a mathematician, a mechanic, or a scientist. Now imagine a place where everyone is focused on your success. Imagine an education that is personal, engaging, fun, and professional. With an education from UVU, all of this becomes true. Utah Valley University. It's your dream. It's your university.
Back at the UCCU Center, Wolverines lose their first home game of the season. A final score of 71-68. Georgia State on top. We're joined now courtside by Coach Dick Hunsaker. Coach, they're telling us we don't have a whole lot of time, but thanks for dropping by. Tough game. This is probably, in my opinion, the toughest team you've had in here so far.
We didn't play well enough tonight. We made too many errors. You got to play better than we did. You know, just to be real hardcore about it, your guards can't go 7 for 25 in a game like this. We can't miss 9 free throws, and I know a couple of them were one-on-ones, and 17 turnovers. Isaiah Williams has 8 turnovers. You know, we got to play better than that. I think we're a better team than that, but we didn't. And I give Georgia State credit. They're an athletic team. They can cause you a lot of problems. They do a lot of things defensively against you, and we simply didn't handle it well. We were just rolling so in flow till we broke down in that second, at the last 4 minutes of the first half, and you know, that kind of gave them confidence, them life, and maybe I thought made us a little bit more tentative, and give them credit for Georgia State for their 8th straight win.
Coach, thanks for stopping by. I know you got to get to the locker room. Coach Dick Hunsaker sees his Wolverines lose their first home game of the season. Wolverines are now 6-6 overall. They'll hit the road, 2 games on the road next week, at Maine Monday night, at Montana on Thursday night. Georgia State, congratulations to them, 8-3 overall. All right, Matt, final wrap-up thoughts from you, sir.
Well, very exciting game. We talked about that at the very beginning. I think we were anticipating that it was going to be a good game, and it certainly was. You just look back and you say on that last possession, it was very unfortunate the Wolverines didn't get a shot off. They turned the ball over. That play was so indicative of the entire game. I mean, they had opportunities, and the Wolverines were just not able to take advantage of it. Give all the credit in the world to Georgia State because they came in here, played extremely well, and they are due the victory and can be proud of their 8th straight win. Devontae White, 17 points for Georgia State. Meanwhile, Geddes Robinson, 16 points, 17 rebounds, and a losing cause for Utah Valley. That's going to do it for us here at the UCCU Center. Appreciate you guys being with us. It was a heck of a basketball game. Tonight's broadcast was produced by students from the Digital Media Department here at Utah Valley University. This is a copyrighted production of UVU and the UVU Sports Network. For Matt Peterson, I'm Jim McCullough. Good night from Orem, Utah.